Hi everyone, I'm Anthony DiMoro and welcome to the latest edition of SportsRantz University. In this video, we're going to continue our discussion about SEO, otherwise known as Search Engine Optimization. From our first video, we did a basic introduction on what SEO is and why it should be important to you. And in our second video, exploring SEO, we looked at interlinking and co-citations, how to implement them in your blog, how to set up your SEO on your blog, and other search commands you can perform in Google to get a little deeper into your searches. We're going to continue our discussion on something we touched on in the first video, and that's selecting keywords to focus on and keywords to link to within your blog. In other words, what phrases do you want to rank for? So we're going to start from the bare scratch. Now I know in the second video I talked about long tail and short tail phrases. And I want to preface this, guys. If you haven't watched the second or the first video, watch the first two videos. More importantly, watch the second one, and you're going to get a lot more of what we're talking about. And if you haven't yet, go on over to SEO Book, download their toolbar. It's going to help you out in your process as well. Alright, so when you're selecting keyword terms, as we touched on briefly in the second video, when we are first exploring SEO video, I talked about focusing on long tail terms first, just the ability of starting to rank for something. Now keep this in mind. When Google is ranking websites, it doesn't matter if they're number one for one specific powerful term. In fact, it's almost better to rank for multiple terms, and that's going to help you out in the long run when you start trying to compete for competitive phrases, those short-term phrases. So if you're ranking for something like Kristen's New York Yankees blog or New York Yankees fan blog, that's great. But try to get as many of those phrases as possible. Now, this goes out there to all those people who are radio personalities, aspiring to be sports journalists, aspiring to be sportscasters or sports personalities. Listen, we all start off locally, and we all start off in our neighborhood, and it's a slight path. Not too many of us shoot right to the national scene. And if you guys want to send me in examples of people who just shot out of a cannon into the national or international spotlight, please do so. But to my best of my knowledge, there isn't too many people who can say, well, I just started to do this sportscasting, sports journalism thing, and then the next day I'm working for ESPN. Well, guess what? It doesn't happen like that. So we're going to give you a little bit of a roadmap to make some noise and further your brand. And it's something that I am a big proponent of. It's local search results. Now, a lot of search engines, Google, and you're going to see this particularly in Google. You ever put in, like for instance, pet grooming. You put in pet grooming and it returns almost automatically a lot of local results based on your IP address. And basically, they're trying to give you, like we talked about in the other video, in the second video, we talked about things being informative resources. They're returning the information they feel is going to be more resourceful to you. So, a lot of those top search results, yes, they're going to have the people who are doing their SEO and ranking correctly, but there's another factor as well. It's the local flair. Google loves it. Yahoo loves it. Bing loves it. They want you to be in touch with your local community and get the localized, personalized information. That is what they consider to be a resource. So with that being said, I want you guys to think about local terms. Now, when I first started out on SportsRantz.com, I started going for a couple of local phrases. And I have a lot of broad experience in this. Before my time at SportsRantz.com, I developed a website, social networking website called 518fever.com. And we ranked for a lot of localized terms. So Albany bars we were number one for because we had a large bar and restaurant directory. 518 restaurants, 518 we ranked for. So these are examples of how I built my audience at 518fever.com. Sadly, that site is no longer in existence. I actually took it down earlier this year because frankly SportsRantz takes up a lot of my time. But with that being said, building a local base brings you local followers, and people want to read other local stuff. I mean, hometown people, I love reading hometown stuff. That's why we pick up the paper almost every day. That's why some people pick up the paper every day. They look at local journalists. That's why local radio hosts are all across your billboards. If you can lay your claim to some kind of notability or being recognized or being a notable figure in your local community, that's a good step into building your brand and expanding your brand on your sports blog. So think local terms, and we're going to do this with our video. We're going to delve into it. But if you're from New York, if you're from, for instance, I'm from Albany, New York, so Albany related sports terms, 518 sports terms, they're going to help you out. Yes, I'm going to answer your question right now. They may not be the most competitive phrases out there, but think about it like this. Think about collecting a whole bunch of eggs in your basket. And the more eggs you have, the more power you're going to have, so to speak, correct? Well, pick up these number one terms, and then you can start going on your blog, and you can start saying, hey, I'm number one Albany, New York sports blogger. You can say that because guess what? The stats will back that up. When somebody goes and puts Albany, New York sports blogger in, you're going to come up number one. And it's always good, especially when you're presenting to advertisers, that you have number one rankings, or you can claim to be the number one in something. People care about this stuff, and why they're not the most accurate statements in the world. I mean, saying you're the number one Albany, New York sports blogger, well, there might be people who disagree with that, but guess what? There's an old phrase that goes with this. The proof is in the pudding. And when people are finding their information on search engines, that's the pudding. So it doesn't matter if Joe Schmo down the road thinks he's a better blogger than you. When you put in Albany, New York sports blogger, you're number one, you're what shows up, you're what people see, and you're the pudding. Great analogy, right? Okay, so let's delve into these local search phrases, shall we? Alright, so like last time, let's start off at our google.com search box. So let's start putting in something very simple. I want to put in Albany sports. And look at this. Automatically, here are my localized search results. Right off the rip, I'm getting UAlbany sports, ualbany.com, which actually, don't let the .com fool you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those sites called an EDU. This is an EDU website. It's got a page rank of 6. This is an EDU. It's just a nice .com extension. Very good job by them. Times Union Center. See, these are your local searches with your map right off the rip. So you see how this works? Then it starts getting into the search result ranking. So right off the rip, you're inundated with local search results. Alright, so that's Albany sports. So let's say you're from Washington or a bigger market like that. Let's take Miami. So Miami sports. And you see the automatic suggestions come up. Miami sports is going to be a competitive phrase. Miami sports radio, Miami sports teams, Miami sports and social club. So these are the terms that people generally type in when they type in Miami sports, or something you generally type in that Google has kept a record of. So let's assume that you're wanting to be a Miami sports blogger. Look at this. Look at this. A couple of websites already coming up. Now, it wanted to suggest to me bloggers, like right there. So let's see how popular this phrase is. Alright, again, to gauge popularity, look how many web pages or websites are competing with it. 300 million results here. Now, if I go back to sports blogger, 351 million. So we're looking at, these are the two terms you're going to want to definitely hone in on. But let me just throw another phrase out there for you guys. How about Miami sports journalist? It's already suggesting it to me. And this one is not as competitive, so I would suggest ranking for this one right off the rip. This might be a term you might want to target in your blog. And remember, how to target these things is you want to go after keyword links in you want to mention this phrase within your blog. And guys, let's just go right here. I'm gonna go right to my SportsRantz University on SportsRantz.com. I'm going to go to Exploring SEO, and I'm not going to log in or do any of this stuff. I'm not going to go, because I have a feeling you guys know how to link words in there. But I just want to throw in here. So let's just say we wrote our blog post right here. Be sure to mention at least 1 or 2 times within your post the phrase, if you want to rank for this, Miami sports journalist. Now, since we looked at 2 phrases here, Miami sports journalist and Miami sports blogger, I focus on both of them. So mention Miami sports journalist once and mention Miami sports blogger another time. try to, now guys, I know it's going to be hard. It's going to take a little bit of your writing skills to do this, but you have to make it sound good in your blog. So you can't just throw it in a sentence. It's cheap, it's going to look stupid, and trust me, search engines are going to catch on to that and make it look like that you're trying to rank for that term and that you're trying to basically manipulate their search ranking results. Now this is what I touched on when I talked about spammers and online casino sites. They're constantly penalized by search engines for trying to manipulate their search results. Now, you may be asking, what's the benefit of SEO? Well, there's something called black hat SEO and white hat SEO. I'm sorry there. Black hat is basically what all these online casinos do: underhanded tricks, bad link practices, things that are basically a shotgun approach. They're looking for quick results. They promise quick results. They get them, but those results don't last. White hat is more conventional of quality SEO, organic linking, stuff that's going to not only get you ranked, but keep you in those top spots. Now, Google changes their algorithm almost all the time, so it's going to be impossible to hold one specific spot for a long time, but you're going to be able to stay within, if you're ranked number 3, you'll be within the top 6 for a while. If you continue to do your SEO correctly, you'll stay there. But I want to show this in you. So let's just say I'm talking about, and I want to rank as Miami sports journalist. I might start off a paragraph saying, let's just take this one. I talk about, I also teach you some Google search commands that should help you get more out of your search engine results. I would say, I also teach you, with my background as being a Miami sports journalist, link the word Miami sports journalist, Google search commands that should help you get more out of your search engine results. There's one way of doing it. And then throw in another, from my perspective as a Miami sports blogger, and I do not do this in every single blog post. Switch it up. If you're doing another good thing at the end of your article, remember I was telling you how to put in your Twitter links and Twitter, follow me on Twitter. If you, let's just say my name's Anthony, I'm trying to rank as Albany sports blogger, I would say follow Anthony, a passionate Albany, New York sports blogger, and then link that while mentioning my Twitter account. And look at that. And also remember, guys, it's all going to go for that if you don't add in your title tags, your meta tags, your keywords, your tags, categorize your post. And also, as we spoke about in the last video, these co-citations that go to EDUs and .govs, they're important. And remember, share it. It's great to have all this SEO infrastructure in, and it does help, but nothing trumps traffic and click-throughs going to your webpage. It's going to help out the process, so remember to share this. You see how this is all coming together, guys? And as we get more and more deeper and delve deeper into SEO, you guys are going to learn more tricks of the trade. So with that being said, that'll wrap up this very short edition of SportsRantz University. I'm in radio mindset today. I'm sorry about that. So remember, guys, come on over to sportsrantz.com/university and definitely check out all that we have going on. We got tons. We got a new little design here. It looks a little better. And as always, if you have any questions, you want me to set up your SEO for you, we're going to be launching Hire Us services. We're going to do it, or it can be budget friendly for everybody. So if you guys, while you're learning this, you don't want to be behind the pack or behind the gun, I'll help you out. We'll do it pretty cheap. I'm not going to release any pricing right now, but we will in the coming weeks, coming days, maybe even coming hours. And also keep me on the lookout for our SportsRantz University group on sportsrantz.com, and that should help you guys continue your education after these videos with some forums. So until next time, guys, thanks for tuning into this edition of SportsRantz University. And remember, rank for those local terms, become a local star, and become a local brand.